It seems that there have been no shortage of remakes, remasters, and re-releases throughout this generation of console, more than any generation before it. Publishers have been tapping into the nostalgia vein all the way back to the Sega Genesis era and re-releasing popular titles for modern audiences. Sometimes these come with a coat of paint in the form of shiny new textures, other times it's a complete rebuild from the ground up. With both Mafia and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remakes being announced this past week, we thought we would take a look back at some of the best titles to come to the current generation of consoles. This is GameGentleman, and this week we look at the 10 best remakes and remasters for this generation. Number 10. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Gears of War Ultimate Edition was a remaster of the 2006 original, released in 2015 for Xbox One and 2016 for PC. Ultimate Edition updates the original to 30 frames per second at 1080p for single player and 60 frames per second for multiplayer. In addition to graphical upgrades, the remaster also includes 5 campaign chapters originally released on the PC version of the game. The initial release of the game suffered issues on the Xbox One X and higher-end PCs, partially as a result of the transition of the game to DirectX 12. Players reported fluctuations in brightness, colour and sharpness when playing the game on 4K resolution, and the game has had to be patched to fix the issues. Number 9. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. This remaster is the first of many collections we'll cover in this video. Releasing in 2014, the Halo Master Chief Collection featured high-definition updates and redesigns of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, ODST, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, as well as access to the live-action series Halo Nightfall and a multiplayer beta for Halo 5 Guardians, which was removed prior to that game's launch. The collection included all gameplay modes and multiplayer maps, including some Halo 2 maps which were remastered from the ground up. Earlier titles in the collection such as Combat Evolved and Halo 2 got the biggest upgrades, and also introduced gameplay features such as terminals, a feature which was only introduced in Halo 3, and the ability to swap between the remastered and original visuals on the fly. The game was generally praised for the quality of the remastered audio and visuals, as well as the volume of content available. However, multiplayer modes suffered at launch, with matchmaking issues being widely reported. Number 8. The Last of Us Remastered. One of the first titles to receive a remaster treatment on the PS4, The Last of Us Remastered took the PS3 title, which released on June 14, 2013, and upscaled the graphics to 1080p, with the ability to run at 60 frames per second or a locked 30 frames per second. The game added DualShock 4 controller functions such as the touchpad and built-in speaker, and bundled in the Left Behind DLC. There was some controversy in remastering a game which was only 13 months old, but The Last of Us Remastered still received near universal praise with a Metacritic score of 95 out of 100. Number 7. Bioshock The Collection. Bioshock The Collection came to PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in September 2016, with a Switch port coming at the end of this month. The collection features all 3 titles in the Bioshock Trilogy, along with their single-player DLCs. All 3 titles in the collection received an upgrade to 1080p and 60 frames per second, but the bulk of the work went into the beloved original. The collection does leave out the multiplayer mode featured in the original Bioshock 2, but does give it a nod in one of its new features, the Museum of Orphaned Concepts, which also features a director's commentary unlocked by finding new collectible objects throughout the games. Number 6. Medieval. Digging back to the PlayStation 1, Other Ocean Emeryville resurrected Sir Daniel Fortescue with a complete rebuild of this PlayStation classic. Other Ocean worked hard to stay true to the original, even going so far as to keep certain glitches, which were considered crucial to the feel of the game. Original level geometry was imported into the new game engine to serve as a source for the new build, with additional background areas and elements having to be developed to accommodate for the remake's draw distance and widescreen aspect ratio. Minor tweaks were made when redesigning Sir Daniel to give his armour a more grounded look and his body better proportions, with original voice actor Jason Wilson reprising his role for the re-recorded audio. Being so faithful to the original didn't come without its criticisms, however, with many reviewers feeling the gameplay mechanics felt outdated, especially when compared with modern hack and slash titles. Medieval Remake was released in October 2019 and has a score of 67 out of 100 on Metacritic. Number 5. The Disney Classic Collection, Aladdin and The Lion King. The next entry in our list seemingly came out of nowhere. Announced in August 2019 and released in October the same year, the Disney Collection Aladdin and Lion King remasters two classic Disney licensed properties with upscale graphics and enhanced gameplay features to improve playability. Both titles were upgraded to include save states, a rewind feature, level select, invulnerability and infinite lives, as well as an interactive game viewer which allowed players to watch full game playthroughs with the ability to skip forward, jump in, and start playing at any point. The collection featured Sega Genesis, Game Boy, and Super Game Boy versions of both titles, along with the Super NES version of Lion King, as well as a Final Cut version of Aladdin, and the game's 1993 trade show demo. The Super Nintendo version of Aladdin was not present in the collection, as this was developed by Capcom. Number 4. Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy. Another deep cut from the PS1 era, the Sane Trilogy remasters the 1996 original Crash Bandicoot as well as its sequels, 97's Cortex Strikes Back and 98's Crash Bandicoot Warped. Originally developed by Naughty Dog, the remakes were handled by the studio behind the upcoming Tony Hawk's remaster, Vicarious Visions, and published by Activision. Sane Trilogy released as a timed exclusive on PlayStation 4 in 2017, with Xbox One, Switch, and PC versions being released in 2018. Similar to Medieval, original level geometry was used as the basis for the remaster. However, much of the source code from the original games could not be used due to the way it was written for the game engine at the time. In addition to the original 3 games, Sane Trilogy also received post-launch DLC in the form of 2 new levels. Stormy Ascent, which was a previously unreleased level from the first game, cut due to its difficulty, and Future Tense, an entirely original level designed by Vicarious Visions. Number 3. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is a remake of the 1993 Zelda title for the Game Boy. Developed by Grezzo and released in September 2019, this remake features elements of the original as well as the 1998 Game Boy Color re-release, Link's Awakening DX. The game retains the original top-down perspective with an updated retro-modern art style, giving the characters a toy-like design, diorama-like worlds, and a tilt-shift perspective. The game also features a Mario Maker-like dungeon system where players could rearrange and customize dungeons, share, and complete for rewards. Link's Awakening was critically praised, launched at number 1 on the UK, Japan, and EMEAA charts, and was nominated for several 2019 Game Awards. Number 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered was developed by Raven Software under the supervision of original developer Infinity Ward and published by Activision in 2016. The remaster was originally bundled with special editions of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, with a standalone version coming out June 2017 for PlayStation and July 2017 for Xbox and PC. The remaster featured graphical, rendering, and lighting enhancements, updated animations, remastered sound, new multiplayer content, and achievements. The game's technical achievements were universally praised, however many gaming outlets felt that the game's campaign mode felt dated after 9 years. Number 1. Resident Evil 2. Our number 1 pick for the best remake or remaster of the generation has to go to the Resident Evil 2 remake. A ground-up rebuild of the original 1998 game in Capcom's modern RE engine, the remake transforms the game's playstyle for modern sensibilities while keeping faithful to the core story and feel of the original. Gone are the blocky character models and tank controls, and in its place we have a slick third-person gameplay experience with terrifying character models, gory body destruction, and tight claustrophobic gameplay. As with the original, players can choose between Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield and play through intertwining A and B story scenarios. Players are confronted by an even more terrifying Mr. X with improved AI, wandering through the police station and changing track if a player makes excessive noise. The game has been universally praised and acclaimed, winning awards from the Game Critics Awards, Japan Game Awards, Golden Joystick, Hollywood Music and Media Awards, New York Game Awards, and the National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviewer Awards. And that's our list for the best remakes and remasters of the generation. Did we miss any of your favourites? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you're not already, subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with our videos.